What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another post-game recap as the Lakers defeat the Bulls in Chicago. Pretty much they grabbed the Bulls by the horns and just took over in that second half. So, LeBron, man, I guess you guys can see that he still has a lot left in the tank. I'm not shocked. Like I said, he can still be a very impactful player. It's just that he's going to have to know when to turn it on. Now, Kuzma looked good, so I was happy to see that. KCB had a good game. The only problem I had with this game, man, was that Andre Ingram didn't get a lot of playing time. And I really didn't appreciate the fact that he put him out for like 4 seconds in the third quarter to end the quarter. And, he yanked him out to start the fourth and then put him back to like 2 minutes left in the game. So that's kind of sad to watch. But, again, that's Luke Walton doing Luke Walton, man. But I was happy to see Ingram get that standing ovation. That's nice. And I was also happy to see them, try to get him some shots in the last 2 minutes. So that was nice as well from the teammates. But other than that, it was one of those games where I figured the Lakers were going to win. They pretty much went down double digits at one point. But it's the Chicago Bulls. They were injured. Markkanen had a horrible game. He went like 0 for 8 from beyond the arc. So we got the dub, and I'm not mad at it. I'm happy that, young players got some PT. And I really like what Mo Wagner's doing, limited minutes off the bench, but he always brings a lot of energy, stretches the floor. I like Alex Caruso in spurts. I wish we would have seen a little bit more of Andre Ingram, but Kuz is feeling better from that ankle, so I'm happy to see that. And again, we'll see what happens moving forward. But how'd you guys feel about the game? The first half was a little bit boring. I'm not going to lie. The second half was full of highlights. LeBron James looking rejuvenated. That's nice to see. That way, hopefully next season, he'll be ready to go. What do you guys think, man? Were you guys upset as me when Luke Walton decided to bench Ingram after bringing him out late in the third? I was kind of upset. I didn't like that, man. He said, Dan, Quentin Grimes is a nice prospect the Lakers should draft. There's a couple of those, man, so I'll definitely be looking into that, and we'll get back at that. He said, do you agree Luke disrespected Andre? I don't think he disrespected him, but I didn't like the fact that he put him out for, 4 seconds. That's kind of dumb, right? What's the point of that? What, to get him a standing ovation? Whoop-de-doo. I'm sure Andre Ingram wants to get some PT. So if you were going to put him out at that time, why so late, right? He said, can't wait till Luke is gone, to be honest. Yeah, his coaching style just drives me crazy. You just never know who he's going to sub in. His substitution patterns are random, man. Muscala gets some weird minutes and at random times that you don't even know what the heck is going on. He said, where are all those Larry Markkanens over Kuzma comments now? No shade, just facts. Well, Markkanen is a very nice player, but they're still very early in their careers to be comparing them. I always like to give these guys 3 to 4 years of pop. That's when you'd really know who's a better player. Of course, my preference is Kuz, but, it's still – Markkanen is a nice player. So even though he had an off night tonight, I'm not really going to go based off of that. It's a nice win tonight by our Lakers. Nice to snap that losing streak. Yeah, definitely. It's nice to snap a losing streak. Too bad it didn't come earlier when we had playoff hopes. This game would have been a lot more exciting then. But still, you can never complain when the Lakers get the dub. Leave it up to the basketball guys for the lottery odds. You never know. So we'll see. Andre Ingram should play a 38-minute game. Why no Bonga? Yeah, I would have loved to see Andre Ingram play a little bit longer. It's a shame. Again, I don't understand what the logic there is for Luke Walton. I guess he wants to win, but I'd say too little, too late for that. It should be more about developing young talent at this stage and giving those that don't have an opportunity a shot, He said Kuzma looks like he could have scored 30. He was on cruise control in the first half. Yeah, Kuzma could put him up in bunches. I never worry about him at all. I'm more excited with him that I got to see a nice little crossover. I like it when he mixes up his game, when he's passing and doing a little bit of everything. The scoring part never worries me with Kyle Kuzma. He's very versatile. He has an array of moves. He even showed us a little sweeping hook tonight off the glass. That was nice to watch. He's a very versatile offensive player. It's everything else that I always look for in Kuz. I want him to pass, to play, make, facilitate, play defense, and rebound. So, yeah, but we finally get a win, though. It's never bad. Exactly, Vern. We finally get one, bro. Dan, if Kyrie could come to LA, can he play with LeBron or not? I think so, especially in this position as a new brand of basketball that, this new position is brand of basketball where you can alternate positions. Kyrie could play the one or the two. It's position as basketball. You could play Lonzo at the one or the two as well. So, I think we could definitely coexist. Again, that's a good problem for the right coaching staff to have. That's not really something that fans should be worried about. Oh, we already have Lonzo, right? If we get Kyrie, we get Kyrie as well. But there was a new rumor that just surfaced. Again, I don't put too much into these rumors, but for the sake of reporting it back to you guys, that Kemba Walker is going to leave the Charlotte Hornets. So it could always be a player like that nobody's really talking about that ends up on the Lakers. And Kemba has had a sensational season. So even though he's not a super great defender because of his size limits him a bit, he's a great scorer and playmaker. So anything's possible. I'm not saying I want Kemba, but if it happens, I'll embrace it. Yeah, he's definitely not an A-list free agent for sure. Yeah, he's very small. He said, Dan, I don't know about Kyrie, man. I don't want the same problem to come back. And plus, it's Cleveland all over again. Get KD instead of Kyrie. Well, of course, the main target will be a wing player like Kawhi or Kevin Durant. But still, Kyrie, you can't turn that down. We can get Kemba and Butler. Depends on the salary cap. I think we can only afford one of those two, but we'll see. Dan, what do you think about Westbrook's situation? Well, I mentioned that in my pregame. I think the fan was out of line. I don't think Westbrook should have said that about his wife or none of that. So, but they did the right thing by banning the fan. Racism can never be tolerated in any sport, in the world, period. But let alone in a major sports league, right? Once they did the investigation, they found out the fan was racist, and he was posting stuff on his Twitter about Westbrook. He basically instigated the whole situation. They banned him, so that's good. That'll send a message to the rest of those idiotic racist fans out there. Dan, we should go after Chris, Middleton, and Clay. KD is leaving the Golden State Warriors for sure. We don't need a superstar to win a chip since Golden State Warriors' reign is over. Well, it's not over till it's over, man. It's never over till somebody defeats him. So, look, at this point, I'm open-minded to whatever Magic and Rob do, but I hope that we do add more talent. We definitely need more shooting. We need a true defensive big man. Rumors have it that DeAndre Jordan is going to be in the market to come to the Lakers. Again, I don't buy into too many rumors right now. It's still early for that. Summertime, I'll be dropping videos about that, but we'll see. He said, Laker Nation, Kawhi ain't coming, so it's now either Clay, Boogie, Cousins, Butler, or Kyrie. I don't know, Reed. I don't buy all that hype about, analysts swear that they know everything. If that was the case, how come nobody predicted Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors? Nobody predicted that, So pretty much I never buy into it, man, until it's getting closer to that July 1st. That's when you start knowing. I think we will add Boogie, AD, and Boogie. We'll see. Again, rumors are going to be flying left and right, but we just gotta keep our head out of the clouds, man. We got to be realistic, and we'll see when that time comes. I still believe we can land a max free agent. Who that's going to be, I don't have any clue, but there's plenty of free agents, man. And we got to be open-minded. It could be just a above average player like Chris Middleton, who was an all-star this year, but I still don't see him as an all-star. Dan, what's your definition of sources? My definition of sources are somebody who has the inside knowledge that can get you stuff based off of facts. So, yeah, that's a source to me. It's inside. Who has the inside scoop? That's a source, right? I have sources of my own, but they have the inside scoop, but not with the front office. More like NBA wise, right? I got scouts and stuff that watch my videos, and we talk and stuff like that. So, yeah, we always go back and forth and bounce stuff off of each other. I've predicted some stuff properly as well. So, Dan, thoughts on Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker is a very good young player. He's still in his prime. What is he, 26, 27? And this is probably his career year, man. He's balling. And if he leaves, that's going to be a huge addition to somebody's team. However, there's plenty of other players that I would prefer before him, right? But if he's one of the final options, I go for it. Dan, is Lonzo gone next year? I have no idea. If I had to guess right now, I say no. Dan Kemba is 29. He's 29? Okay, my bad. He's 29. But still, he's not 30 yet. He still has plenty of game left in him. I'd still take him if we miss on everybody else, honestly. Kemba is a defense liability, though. I agree with you, Kevin. But let's say we miss on everybody and Kemba Walker's available. Would you not pay him $25 million a year to come up and play with us? I would. Maybe I wouldn't give him a 4-year deal, but I'd probably give him like a 3-year with a 4th-year team option. Something like that would be, ideal. Kemba's too small. He's not a game changer. No, but he could definitely take a bunch of the scoring load off of LeBron. That way LeBron can focus on other things like playing defense, rebounding, and playmaking. He said, we need a forward. We need a lot of things, honestly. Right now, we shouldn't focus on a specific position, but I feel you on that. He said, who should coach? Dan. I've been through this list, but I'm going to wait to see after we fire Luke Walton. I'm going to drop that video. For now, let's just we're rolling with Luke. That's what we have right now. I really don't want to touch on the subject because it's basically an opinion-based subject. Some people think Mark Jackson, some think Kidd, some think Ty Lue, some think like Tom Izzo. There's different options there, but I think it also depends on the way that the roster is constructed. But as I like to say, the roster should never be constructed around the coach. The coach should construct his offense and defensive schemes around the roster. Right? That's what I believe. We do need a big desperately. I agree, Joseph. I agree. He said Odell Beckham got traded to the Browns. I know. I couldn't believe that. I know Giants fans that were pissed about that, man. So I feel you on that. He said my next door neighbor can coach better than Luke. I feel you on that, brother. He said Lakers will draft a big. And there's plenty of good bigs out there, right? Plenty of them. Dan, will you do linger streams during free agency? I will definitely be dropping a lot of content. I will do live streams as well. I think you meant live, right? You said linger, but I think you meant live. I'll be doing some live streams, especially when news breaks. I'm going to be doing some NBA 2K streams. I'm going to fill in the gap. So I'll try to keep you guys, up to date as far as the Lakers go, as well as side content on the channel. So keep it locked right here, man. He said, will Lonzo get an ankle transplant? Oh, man. Well, I feel for the kid. He's been very injury prone his first 2 years in the season, man. All we can hope for is him getting stronger and having a good off season where he can fully work on his game. Now, Lonzo did make a small leap from last season to this season, and he didn't really have a whole season of work in the off season and get better. Imagine if he could work a whole off season, man. I think he can get a lot better. So the 2K streams will be dope. Absolutely, man. I've been working on my team, so I'm gonna have plenty of content for you guys. Wait, what was that? I gotta read this one. This is a Spanish I will translate for you guys after I read it. He said, Dan, ¿te gustaría una mujer entrenadora? La mujer de los Spurs, no me acuerdo el nombre. ¿Te gustaría una entrenadora en los Lakers? You mean if oh, okay, I know who you're talking about. He asked me if I would like the assistant coach, right, for the San Antonio Spurs. She's a female. I forgot her name, but you guys know it. Is it Nancy? What's her name? Nancy Lieberman? I forgot her name, but she's an assistant coach. He asked me if I would like that for head coach of the Lakers. I don't really know much about her, honestly. I prefer something with more experience. I don't think we need a Becky Hammond. Thank you. That was way off. I'm sorry. I don't know much about her, so probably not. I would like somebody with more experience and somebody who's good at developing players. So as far as Becky Hammond goes, I know she recently got the promotion to that position, so she's not very, how do I say, experienced. But, I mean, if she was experienced, I wouldn't have no problem with it, honestly, as long as players are respectful to the fact that she's a female, right? So, yeah, it has nothing to do with her sex, though. For me, it's more experience is what I'd be looking for as far as, as far as the Lakers moving forward. He says, my birthday in August? No, it's in December, bro. Ettore Messina has some good experience, but I'm not sure how good he is at player development. I do like that he's a hard-nosed coach, and he would probably improve our defense a lot. But offensively, how good is he? That's the question. And as far as player development, that's what concerns me the most. Luke, Magic, and LeBron need to go. Nah, man, let's not jump the gun. Let's give them at least this summer. Let's see what they do starting next summer. He said Becky Hammon will even coach better than Luke Walton. I do agree, though. If I had to choose Luke or Becky Hammon, I'd probably go with Becky for sure. He said, I'm a diehard Laker fan, but it seems like free agents don't want to come to LA anymore, who actually could come to the Lakers in the summer. I'll tell you what, Scott, we got to be patient because we really haven't seen Magic at the helm with money. This is going to be our second season that he has money. Now, the first season, off season, he got LeBron. So we can't even say what you just commented right now. This is the one that counts. So who are we going to pair him up with and with our young core moving forward? This is the summer that counts. Becky Hammon will be the heir after Pop retires. The heir apparent to Pop? I mean, that would be interesting to watch. I would love to see a female coach, be dominant in the NBA. That would break a lot of stereotypes, and that'll open up opportunities for other people. So yeah, man, I'm always in favor for underdogs. I love that. He said hospital shoes versus BBB shoes. Man, I don't even know how Big Baller Brand came up in this conversation. Dan, will LA ever accept LeBron? That depends on LeBron James. He has to win for LA. LA loves their winners, man. We don't like second place, third place, fourth place, or in our case where we're at right now, 11th place in the West. We want winners. We want championships. If LeBron is able to somehow get a championship to LA, then yes, of course. We'll not only accept LeBron, but we'll embrace him. And I promise you, mark my words, write it down, whatever you guys want. If LeBron wins a championship here in LA, he'll definitely be in the conversation for GOAT, because right now I don't feel like he should be. I feel like he's part of 3-6 Mafia, and there's been a lot of controversy around LeBron that Jordan should be at the top, Kobe should be up in the conversation, Kareem, a bunch of other players before LeBron. And for me, winning is everything. But I will say this, if LeBron is able to win a championship, he'll definitely be in the conversation. And not only will he be accepted by LA, but he will be embraced by LA. And when he retires, they're going to do the same farewell tour they did for Kobe. I promise you, if LeBron wins a championship, that's the key. Because LA, what have you done for us lately? That's LA. It's not, oh, what LeBron did in Cleveland, let's praise him for that. Oh, we're lucky to have him. We're blessed. Yeah, we are blessed. We're also very spoiled. And I can say that as a Laker fan. Laker fans are spoiled. We're used to greatness. And so when we do get underwhelming greatness, then we're really like, what is this? We expect the high-flying LeBron that wins championships. That's the one we want. If not, he was better off joining Philadelphia or somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only point I want to make about LeBron. If LeBron wants to win LA over, he has to win with LA, and that's the bottom line. And most of all, the reason why he has to win in LA is because LeBron is not really a humble player. He brags a lot. He calls himself the GOAT. So he adds a lot of added pressure to himself, right? And LA, there's a big microscope. That's why a lot of people aren't LA material, because they can't take the pressure. They rather go hide under other superstars in Golden State, or, they rather go to the Clippers where they're always going to be the shadow team, because you have to be built from thick skin. You have to be the real deal to play for the Lakers and win here. And you have to be able to take a lot of criticism. So, he said, but Magic needs to do his job constructing a team around LeBron. And see, that's just my problem. LeBron is at the age where he needs to buy in. Whatever team we construct, he needs to buy in and play his role without complaining and trying to get players traded. I agree that Magic has to do a better job of adding talent. But see, I don't like that. Why do we have to build around LeBron? He's about to be 35. Why not build alongside LeBron, right? Why does everything have to be around LeBron? Let's build alongside LeBron and improve the team as a whole, right? We shouldn't have to build a whole offensive system around LeBron. LeBron should have to be able to adapt if he's really that great. Hey, Dan, I'm a huge fan. He said, do I think we can make the playoffs? Or do I think we can make the playoffs? I don't think we can make the playoffs anymore, simply because the Clippers and the Spurs keep winning, and because our schedule is going to get harder, and we've been plagued with injuries, and we have an incompetent head coach. But other than that, man, we're still taking up the positives out of this season, and we're going to continue to watch players develop. We're going to continue to watch our standings in the lottery for the pick, and we're going to continue to cheer on this team. Even when we win, we're not going to get mad. Whatever the basketball guys decide as far as where the draft pick lands, we're going to roll with the punches. That's what Lakers fans And Laker Nation does, man. We roll with the punches. He said, will Phoenix trade the pick for Lonzo? What pick does Phoenix even have? We won't know till the lottery, man. And I promise you, if they get a top 3 pick, they're not going to trade it regardless. But I'm not sure we should trade for a pick if we're already going to have our own pick. Why do you need 2 picks? That sets you back a couple years. We're already bringing Lonzo along as far as development goes. So there's no need to trade for 2 draft picks. We already have one. He said, Dan, you got any tips on how to become fluent in Spanish? Hold up, Max. He said, fluent in Spanish, I want to impress a Hispanic girl. Man, the best thing you could do, Max, and I'm going to tell you straight up, because I've seen a lot of my friends, they're black, and they wanted to impress girls by speaking Spanish. I always tell them, man, the best way to do it is by actually asking the girl you like to teach you Spanish and interact. Sorry about that. And interact with them, right? So pretty much that's the way I would do it. I'd be like, hey, can you teach me Spanish? I would love to learn. And then that's another way to interact, break the ice, everything, man. So I have the girl that you like teach you Spanish. It's better than having a dude like me teach you. That's kind of corny. He said, just because Magic could play ball, it doesn't make him know how to run a team. It doesn't make him know how to run a team. Look, I'll tell you this, brother. Magic Johnson has only had about 2 seasons or a season and a half with the Lakers. So if we're already, if the verdict is already out on him this early, then we're not ever going to know who can run the Lakers. Because if you expect somebody to come in and day one start succeeding and getting the team from mediocrity to the next level, then we're dreaming, right? Not a lot of GMs could do that, or presidents of basketball operation could do that. So we'll see. He said, it's a disgrace that the Clippers are playoff bound and the Lakers aren't. I wouldn't go that far because the Clippers are still a middle of nowhere team. They don't have any direction unless they hit a grand slam and landed 2 max free agents. They don't have much direction. He said, does your girl speak Spanish? She does. She does speak Spanish. Dan, do you think Lonzo demand a trade to the Suns in the summer? I hope not. We don't need any kind of drama when we're trying to recruit free agents. So hopefully not. Dan, you think signing Boogie Cousins and signing Boogie Cousins and Jimmy Butler would be good with LeBron? Let's see, Jimmy Butler and Boogie Cousins. I'm not sure if we can even afford both of those, but if we could somehow clear the cap and sign those 2 guys, that's a lot of bad juju right there, man. That's a lot of bad personality, and honestly, I'm not sure if I want both of those guys along with LeBron's ego clashing at each other. I wouldn't go for that. He said, if the Clippers and New York get nothing, it's going to be so funny. And you know what, Christmas? It's possible because I've noticed this, man. The history of the NBA, nothing ever goes as predicted. And the media gets things wrong, I'd say, more than 50% of the time. So it's to the point where I don't know why fans always believe the media hype, right? If you guys remember when Kevin Durant was going to become a free agent, everybody would always reference the MVP speech and how much he loved OKC and how there was no way he was leaving OKC. Boom, goes to Golden State. Nobody saw that coming. When LeBron left to Miami, there was rumblings, but nobody truly believed he was going to go to Miami at the time. And then it happened, right? There's probably 2 analysts that guessed it right, probably. So, in the history of time, I mean, free agency is a big mystery, man. I never know what to expect. Remember, not a lot of analysts gave the Lakers a shot at landing LeBron. Matter of fact, Ramona Shelburne, our local reporter, she said that there was a slim to none chance that LeBron was looking this way. That's all I'm saying. Where do you predict Le'Veon will sign? I have no clue. As far as the NFL free agency, I don't really. I'm a Rams fan, but I'm only a Rams fan since they got to LA, so I really haven't been that involved in NFL free agency and paying attention to that. But we'll see, man. It's gonna be interesting. He said, Dan, you worried about the Raiders? Man, if he brings all that drama with him, I'm not going to worry about the Raiders. The Raiders, here's the thing about the Raiders. Since I've been watching football, I've noticed that the Raiders and their fans, I got friends that are Raider fans. The funny part is they always look good on paper. Last season, my boy Jesse, a.k.a. Jay Ball, Um, he was telling me that the Raiders were going to be better than Rams. I told him, get out of here. I told him, you're crazy, man. I said, the signings we made, no way. We even made a bet and all that, right? I told him this. I remember telling him, the Raiders always look good on paper, but always fall apart and something crazy happens. Sure enough, they made all those crazy trades, traded Khalil Mack, all this stuff, right? And it's insane. I don't believe in the Raiders at all. And I'm glad because I'm a Rams fan anyways. But I just think they're owned by Al Davis' son is just bad karma, man. He said the Browns just got better. The Browns, though, Odell Beckham Jr. Again, I know Giants fans that were pissed. The NFL just got more exciting, man. Teams like the Browns who've been irrelevant, they're starting to look a little better and better. And it'll be interesting to see if they make that leap. He said Pelicans are trash. They are going to trade AD to the Knicks just so the Lakers can sign him next year. Well, you know what? They just fired that. They just fired their GM, so pretty much anything's possible. I think what happened to Brandon Ingram is going to prevent us from trading for Anthony Davis. And depending on if Ingram comes back healthy, that might be a blessing in disguise because I really love what Ingram was doing before. You know, he went down with his virus or whatever you want to call it. He said, our Lakers were tired of criticism, so they won. You know what? You're probably right, Kathy. And they watch TV just like us. They read social media, all that stuff. So I don't expect these guys to come out and tank on purpose. Players always want to win. Coaches want to win. The only people that want to tank are the front offices. Other than that, you know, I don't get mad when my team wins. He said, no, we need you on the Raiders. Go Raiders? Nah, man, I'm not a Raiders fan. I'll never be a Raiders fan. He said, do you think Zion is the real deal? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb. I love Zion. I think he's going to be extremely fun to watch in the NBA. He looks like he's bred to be in the NBA. But I think R.J. Barrett's going to have a better overall career. I think he's going to be a star in the league. And I think I like Cam Reddish as well. I think there's a lot of college players there that are probably going to be a little bit more impactful than Zion. But I do like Zion, and I wouldn't be mad at anybody who drafts him, especially if the Knicks draft him. That'll be really exciting. You know, underrated team that's on the rise is the Atlanta Hawks with John Collins and Trae Young. If they're able to get their hands on RJ or, you know, Zion Williamson, that's going to be a freaking fun team to watch. They haven't been fun to watch since they had Jamal Crawford, Joe Johnson, and Josh Smith. Who remembers those days? That was their little trio. So the Atlanta Hawks are they're on the rise slowly but surely. He says Zion is Julius Randle 2.0. Book it. He said, and I love Zion's game too. Well, we'll see, man. I don't like to make these comparisons early in their careers because most of the time we're wrong. But yeah, he could be. Who knows? Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns. That's crazy, man. The Browns did get a lot better. I know Larry Nance Jr. is probably super hyped, so it'll be fun to watch. He said, yeah, ATL in the house. I see you. I see you. He says, Zion is not a superstar. Poor man's Blake Griffin. Whoa, I wouldn't put him in a box neither because he could, if he develops a jump shot off the dribble, he's going to be lethal, man. Who's going to stop that big frame of his coming down the lane? And then if he's able to pull up and just pop it, he's going to be something else. So I wouldn't go hating on this young talent because they have a, man, I love young talent. I'm telling you guys, I should have been a scout. I have a good eye for talent. I could tell Zion's going to be really special, but RJ just has the full package. If I'm looking for a young up-and-coming star, very similar to Karl Anthony Towns. My boy Lou, if he remembers, when Karl Towns was drafted, he went number 1 and then D'Angelo went number 2. I was excited we got D'Angelo. Don't get me wrong. I love D'Angelo from the start, but I always knew Karl Towns was going to be the better prospect moving forward. I mean, he was just a prototypical big man who could stretch the floor. Still very raw, but I knew he had a lot of game, man. And same thing with Joel. I was hoping Joel fell to us in that draft, right? From I think he went number 3 to the Sixers. I was hoping we had the 7th pick. The Lakers thought about trading. They thought about trading up and getting Joel. We should have did it, man, because Joel is a monster. He's one of my favorite as far as talent goes. He's one of my favorites. Not a big fan of his personality, but you know, I'm sure if he was on my team, I probably would be. He said, Rams and Dodgers choke, man. Such a disappointment. Hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, but we still fans, and hopefully we bounce back next year. Zion is going to be a top 10 player in the NBA. Mark my words. You know what, Dex? Very well could be, but still early to tell. I don't think anybody, not even scouts, could tell this early on. Cam Reddish and Ja Morant are very, very nice. Well, I just saw some film on Ja Morant, and he's super explosive. Reminds me of Russell Westbrook, but he needs to work on that jump shot for sure. Cam Reddish, man, he's something else. I'll tell you that. He is something else. I can't wait to see what they do in the tournament. He said Bobo could be the best player from the draft 7-2 with a great touch. Now, he's definitely a prospect to look at. I've been looking at him since high school, man. But the key is, how injury prone will it be? Because a lot of big men that are that size, take Kristaps Porzingis, for example, are very injury prone. Same thing that happened to Yao Ming. You know, size, for some reason, they're more fragile. The bigger they are, I guess, the harder they fall. So that's something to look at for sure. But I definitely would look at that for sure. Bobo would be interesting if the Lakers. I mean, he's the son of Manute Bol, so you know there's some greatness in that, in those veins. Ingram just needs to bulk up, man. He just needs to stay healthy as far as his blood clot and the problem he has, man. Zion handles the pressure well. He'll be good in the NBA. Yeah, I see a bright future for all those kids. We'll see, though. We'll see who's the best one. It'll take years before we find out. How do you feel about Lou Williams? I mean, he's very talented. I never hate on players, man. I hate the franchise. I hate the Clippers. I hate their front office. I hate everything they stand for, especially because they try to throw shade. Every time we're down, they try to kick us. That's what I can't stand about the Clippers. See, before they started hanging selfie banners and all that stuff, I was like, oh, look, this is cute. The little brothers are trying to, you know, get some limelight. But at the end of the day, let's be real, man. The Clippers got disrespectful, so that's why I started disrespecting them. Had they stayed in their lane and just been humble, and or moved out of LA and been humble, then I would have been like, cool, you know, power to the Clippers. But I can never say that because they disrespected us and they became my mortal enemy, especially their fans, man. I can't. Clipper fans are absolutely the worst. They're arrogant. They always try to trash our history because they have none, and it's just it gets out of hand. How can you hate our front office? It's the best in the league. I guess you must be a Clipper fan, right? No, it's definitely not the best in the league. Your front office is not. Jerry West is the only one I have respect for, but no, you don't have the best front office in the league. Definitely not. You've had a couple of good lucky trades, but I mean, you have traded away stars like Blake Griffin, you know, and those trades, you don't know who the winner is till your draft picks either pan out or they don't. So, yeah. Who do you hate more, Celtics or Clipper fans? You know what? I hate them both, but the Celtics actually have some substance. They have championship rings behind them. Clipper fans are just something else, man. And you will catch them on Twitter talking all day like they have anything to brag about. First off, they don't have a star. They're lucky they have a good head coach. And they have a bunch of draft picks, but who knows if those pan out? You just never know. Jerry West has all my respect. Always will. He gave us Kobe Bryant, so I love him for that. And he's just great. But everybody else, man, I don't really. And I'll say what about Lou Williams? He tweeted at me, and he was saying that I was a fan of his. I told him when he was a Laker, I used to be a fan, but not anymore. But he didn't block me or anything, so respect to him, you know, for keeping it peaceful and respectful on Twitter. He said, I'm embarrassed to claim Jerry West as a Laker fan. What? What do you mean? What do you mean you're embarrassed? Jerry West can't do no wrong. Jerry West could join the Celtics, and I still wouldn't hate him. Jerry West gave us tons of championship rings. You forget that he helped facilitate the trade for Pau Gasol. You got to remember that a lot of the NBA hates us. So Jerry West was one of the few that actually helped us when we needed some help for Kobe, and we facilitated that Gasol trade. Remember, Marc Gasol was a nobody back then. He was just a prospect. So how can you hate Jerry West? You can't hate him. You can't hate. He gave us Kobe. He gave us Gasol. And he is the logo, man. He is a Laker for life. He said, time to trade LeBron to the Warriors, and you better not complain. What? I'm not sure what you're talking about. The league ain't high school, and at Duke has shown me zero handles. Are you talking about Zion? Man, these kids are only going to get better. Don't forget that. Only going to get better. Clippers need to move to San Diego SeaWorld. Yeah, seriously, they need to move somewhere if they ever want a chance at being relevant, for sure. He said, Jerry West helped us by trading Harris low-key. Well, he tried, but they don't know how to tank over there. So, does the front office need LeBron James' approval to sign a free agent? LeBron James signed our roster this year. No, but LeBron does have a lot of pull. I agree with that. And I thought that was never going to happen. Oh, you were replying to at Sly, for sure. My bad. Lakers got fans in every arena. Best team in French and sports history, in my opinion. The Lakers, man. I know soccer fans will argue with me, but I don't really watch soccer like that, so I'm being biased for sure. He said, LOL, SeaWorld Flippers. That kind of has a nice ring to it. The SeaWorld Flippers. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys so much for the chat, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Lakers get that dub, and hopefully Andre Ingram gets some more playing time come Thursday, man, because, you know, I wish him well, and it's always fun to watch an underdog. So let's see what happens, though, guys. Hang in there. We got about, 15 more games left in the season, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens for the rest of the year, but all I wish for is Brandon Ingram to get healthy, Lonzo to get healthy, and we come back stronger than ever. And hopefully we bounce back and have a great off-season and regular season next year. All right, guys, it's going to wrap it up for me. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys Thursday for that pregame. Peace out.